Welcome to round 17 of the championship. We are here at the brand new circuit for the Indian Grand Prix. I am Roben. Let's have a look at the qualifying results. EMRNL takes his first pole position of the season with a 1 minute 19.411. Indrexen is back on the front row for the first time since the Turkish Grand Prix. Drudak727 is followed by Paintball Maniac for an All-American second row. Then comes Tadger in P5 with Kex lining up his Sauber behind him. Both Red Tabor and Dan27 did not set a time and they will start at the back of the grid. An interesting weather report for this weekend. Although the sky was clear during qualifying, there is 39% chance of rain during the race. The teams will have both the dry and the wet compound ready for this Grand Prix. What's up everybody, back alongside me in the commentary box is Andrew Wood.
Hello everyone.
Hello Andrew, and we have for this race a new guest commentator joining us, and that is Jonathan Seekings.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
It's great to have you on, and we are getting ready for the start of the Indian Grand Prix with EMR now on pole position. Drudak727 lining up in third place, and he has got Paintball Maniac right on the back of him. The bottom left of your screen you can see the start of EMRNL as the lights are coming up. And we are on the way at India, and Drudak gets off to a good start, but Indrexen just gets it wrong there a little bit. EMRNL's off to a good start as well. Already got turn 1 right, but there's a little bit of contact I guess because Drudak is running wide there at turn 1. What happened there, Andrew?
Looks like just a little bit of contact entering turn 1, and you can see that now there's a little bit of contact entering turn 3, I believe that is the hairpin, Red Tabor.
Yep, so Andrew has to recover himself, and that's a disappointing start for the Virgin driver, but it's a long race and anything can happen. These conditions are really tricky, as EMR now gets around turn 4 there, but a lot of people going wide there, almost everybody going wide. And I guess it's Dan27 who takes advantage of that, and Dan27 has moved up to second place. What do you make of that, Jonathan?
Oh, that's an incredible start for Aero Dan. I mean, he started at the back and within half a lap he's already up to second, so it's a great start for him. It's just everyone else has run wide and making mistakes.
Yeah, it seems that no one's really used to the wet conditions at the end of the long straightaway there. It didn't turn out so well for half the grid, but Aero Dan was ready for the uptake there.
These guys are coming out of a dry qualifying session, so they really must adapt to these conditions. As we can see Indrexen on the bottom left in 4th place now. He had a bit of a troublesome first lap and dropped down to 4th, but he seems to be right on the back of Paintball Maniac in 3rd. We are going to get to see a replay of what exactly happened at the start with Indrexen. He gets off to a good initial start, but just loses the rear a bit it seemed there, and had to recover from spinning out, and that costs him some time, but he keeps second place. And then here at turn 4 goes wide, outbrakes himself completely, and that allows both Dan27 and Paintball Maniac through.
Yeah, we also see that Kex outbrakes himself into turn 1, and that's what got Drudak off at turn 1 there initially. So Indrexen takes advantage of Paintball Maniac, who outbrakes himself at turn 4.
Yep, so Indrexen moves up back into 3rd place, Jonathan.
Yeah, I mean, apart from that mistake on the first, or 2 mistakes on the first lap, it's not turned out so bad for Indrexen. He's still there, for like close enough in the main pack.
Yep, going purple now even in this sector, so he has found some pace and trying to get into a rhythm, as EMR now is looking solid up to now, lap 4, still in the lead and trying to keep Dan27 behind him. But it seems Dan27 has closed the gap now to about 2 tenths.
Yeah, EMRNL is going to do the best he can to try and hold back Dan here, because he knows that Dan's going to probably take the lead and run away with it. So EMRNL is going to do everything he can to keep him behind.
Yep, it's going to be tricky to overtake though at this track. Not a lot of opportunities except for the really long straight, and of course no DRS to 8 then 27 in these conditions. So Ian really has to make sure that he gets the start of the lap right, and especially the hairpin leading up to the straight. We are on board with Indrexen now at the start of lap 6, and Ian in front of him has to defend his line into turn 1 because 1027 is all over the back of him.
Indrexen actually really did close up a lot on the two of them on that one lap in general. It's going to be a nice clear battle.
Yep, of course taking advantage of these guys battling. 1027 is going up the inside there of Ian. Can he make it stick? Going to be a difficult braking, but Ian runs wide there, and that allows 1027 to take the lead, and Indrexen also through. So Indrexen moves up to 2nd place now, Jonathan.
Yeah, just another a mistake from EMRNL, just going wide, outbraking himself a bit. And now Indrexen's right on the back of Roben now because of EMRNL's defensive last lap.
Yep, so EMRNL dropped back to 3rd place now, but he seems right on the back of Indrexen. Can he keep up with the pace of these guys now? As Dan27 looked a bit quicker, but he was stuck behind EMRNL for those first 6 laps, so let's see what he can do now.
Yeah, it looks like Roben is just pulling a bit of a gap now to Indrexen, and EMRNL is just trying to catch up again. But this looks like it could turn into an interesting race.
Yep, skipping ahead to lap 8 now, on board with Drudak, who sees Paintball Maniac there in a battle with EMRNL. So EMRNL dropped back a little bit, and these guys are fighting for 3rd place now. And Paintball Maniac slides off there, and EMRNL also running wide. These guys have a lot of trouble with turn 4. It has to be said, Andrew.
Yeah, it definitely looked like Drudak was just waiting for a mistake to happen with one of those drivers there. And you can see EMRNL again misses the turn, and Drudak brakes perfectly for it and is right on the back of EMRNL now, heading down towards turn 5. It's very narrow here though, so probably no passing is going to happen unless one of them makes a mistake.
Yeah, EMRNL just needs to keep it on the road, but he gets a lot of oversteer there at the exit of that chicane, and that allows Drudak to be right alongside him and overtaking him here at the long right-hander. Drudak is making up some lost places, so a good job.
Yeah, really good overtaking move there. Not really a corner you'd think about overtaking someone, but he took advantage of EMRNL just running a bit wide, and now he's trying to catch up to Indrexen in P2.
Indrexen 2.5 seconds behind Dan27, and slides off there, really trying to keep up with Dan27's pace, but he just has to find his own pace and stay in his own rhythm, but losing a lot of ground here, and almost 5 seconds behind the HRT driver now, but still in a solid 2nd place for Indrexen.
If I had to take a guess, I'd say these drivers are just creating some dry weather. They've been racing in these wet conditions. You see Drudak gets a little bit loose there, and a little help from EMRNL to push him back on track again, and Paintball Maniac's going to try and overtake both of these guys.
Yeah, so Drudak not looking good, and he's just dropped back 2 places from what he gained at these last couple of laps, but he overtakes Paintball Maniac here around the outside, and that's a good move to immediately respond, and he's going to try and catch up with EMRNL again. Skipping ahead now to lap 12, where he's right on the back of the McLaren, and just again waiting for an opportunity to make a pass, or EMRNL making a mistake.
Yeah, I think in these weather conditions, you don't really need to try overly hard to try and get past someone, because it's always likely that someone's going to make a mistake, and then you just need to be alert to it and pounce, just like there. EMR just runs a bit wide, and Drew Dog's made the move and he's back up to P3.
Yep, good job. And EMR deciding to get in some new intermediate tires as he followed Drew Dog right in the pits there. Will Virgin get him out on time and in front of the McLaren driver? Yes, they do. They do get him out in front of the McLaren, and no position changes, so both of them do lose a spot there as Racedepartment stays out, I guess.
Yeah, they both lost a spot to both Racedepartment and Paintball Maniac, who also stayed out, trying to make those entries last.
Yep, and skipping ahead to lap 17 now. Indrexen still doesn't, he didn't make a stop yet, so it's interesting to see these guys are having different strategies going on. Indrexen trying maybe to go for a long run until the track is drying out, because the rain seemed to have, lessened.
We can see that Indrexen's pit crew has been hailing him in, so he looks a little bit off on these tires. Don't know how much longer they're gonna be able to last.
Looks like HRT are getting ready to receive one of their drivers. Their pit crew are out to the garage.
As another driver comes out of the pits here, it's Tadger, and he's getting lapped, I think, by the Sauber driver. Indrexen just passed him a little bit off-roading there, off-track, but nothing major, I guess.
Yeah, Tadger was expecting Indrexen to come right around him there, so he probably just pulled over for him, and Indrexen just wound up going a little bit wide, so no harm, no foul there. Drew Dog is back battling with Paintball Maniac, who just jumps right in front of the screen there. And remember, Paintball Maniac hasn't pitted, so Drew Dog is trying to get the advantage on his newer intermediate tires.
That must have been a terrifying moment for the Virgin driver, as he just got really just surprised by that lag spike from the Mercedes driver. But luckily for both of them, they didn't have any contact. We are back on board with EMR now on lap 20, right on the back of Paintball Maniac, and using the slipstream here to maybe get a look up the inside, but nope, thinks better of it. And whoa, what is this? Paintball Maniac just looked to pull over for EMR now. What do you make of that, Jonathan?
It's a bit weird. I don't really know if he was trying letting him back past, or pushing him onto the grass down the straight, but yeah, it's a bit weird there. I don't really know what happened.
Yep, strange situation there.
It's possible that Paintball Maniac might have thought that EMR had fresher tires, and after what he just went through with Drew Dog, that he just said, you know what, I'll let him by. They're going to be faster than me anyway, so let's just keep these tires on and hope that the weather does dry out eventually.
Yeah. Well, either way, EMR and Drew Dog both back into their positions from before, so 3rd and 4th place. As Indrexen has taken over the lead, as he's still out on these tires. He still didn't make a stop, I think. That's a really surprising fact.
Yeah, you can see his pit crew called him in 9 laps ago, so he's obviously trying to wait for the track to dry out, but oh, here we go, he's going in now. So it looked like he was trying to stay out as long as possible. I think it looks like Aero Dan has followed in him.
It actually worked out really well for the Sauber driver, I think, as he just managed to keep Dan 27 behind him up till now. So that strategy move by Indrek to just do one stint on those inters and wait for the track to dry out really turned out well.
Yeah, these guys are all going on the soft tires now, so this track must be drying out quickly enough for them to believe that they could handle it on the prime tires. Drew Dog did not pit in that sequence. You can see he's up in 1st place now, so he's gonna try and make sure that he can get an advantage. But now you can see on the next lap, there he is coming in. Probably realized that the gap to Indrexen behind him was closing quickly, only 3.3 seconds. So he felt like he should come in. Missed the gun there a bit for Drew Dog, but he's on the tires now.
It seems like the dry compound is really the tire to be on at the moment, as EMR now also has switched to the prime tire and overtaking his teammate here, who had a little off there, I think. So Red Saber dropping back to P5 and EMRNL still following around with Drudok. Still not much separating those two since the start of this race basically. And Indriksen still in the lead. And can he try and challenge Dan 27 here at this track? Whoa, and he gets a lot of oversteer there at that chicane, and he just managed to save his car from spinning off, but that allows Dan 27 to be right on the back of him, and Dan 27 will probably have the DRS on the next lap.
Yeah, Indriksen was lucky there not to put it in the wall, and was also lucky not to lose the place to Aero Dan. So that could have been a really costly mistake, but Aero Dan has just gone fastest now, and he'll probably have DRS as well. So let's see if he can make that work for him.
Yep, meanwhile Drudok is coming around the lap, and at the start of this lap as well, putting in the fastest lap of the race, so obviously has found some pace right there, as Dan 27 goes up the inside and makes it stick with a bit of 8 of the DRS, as we predicted at the end of the previous lap. So Dan 27 back in the lead, and now it's a question of Indriksen, can he keep up with the pace of this HRT in front of him.
You can see that definitely the dry tire is now the tire of choice, as a lot of purple laps are being set. So we're going to see a lot of fast laps coming down now.
Yep, as we are back on board with EMRNL, and he gets the DRS here on lap 30. And Drudok is going to take the defensive line here, covering off the inside, so EMRNL has to run out to the outside line. This is going to be close, I think, and EMRNL looks to have it covered, but Drudok just gets a really good traction out of turn 4 there and just keeps the place, so really good job by the Virgin driver to defend that off.
Yeah, it looked like EMRNL was way past Drudok by the time it comes to the braking zone, but EMRNL running a bit wide on the entrance, and Drudok a bit later on the brakes managed to take his place back.
Yep, as we are back with Indriksen, and he is right on the back of Dan 27, so he managed to stay with him, and in the DRS now, this is going to be an easy pass, I think. As he's well clear and back in the lead, so Indriksen doing a really good job today, and really giving Dan 27 a run for his money. So we are skipping ahead to lap 32 now, and Indriksen putting in a personal best lap with a 1 minute 24.1. So these guys are really pushing it now.
We can see that these two guys have pulled quite a gap on Drudok now, 10 seconds behind Aero Dan. He's going to really have to do some work to get up into the front two here.
And it seems Dan 27 has made a pit stop there, so it will be interesting to see if Indriksen responds to that. And meanwhile, EMRNL still in a battle with Drudok here, but is having a hard time to get past the Virgin driver. Even with the DRS, the Virgin driver is really quick in a straight line, and especially on the exit of that hairpin leading up to the straight. So
it looks like Drudok's really got his car set up well for the straights.
Oh, and EMRNL gets a wheel on the grass there and has to recover his car, and those small mistakes are really costing him to be in the DRS zone and close to Drudok each lap.
You can see Indrek has picked up the pace a little bit. He's now 7 seconds ahead of Aero Dan after he made his pit stop, but I have a feeling that Indriksen is going to want to come in soon to change his tires as well.
Yeah, well, his fuel indicator is now on optimal, so He's still running in the faster mix, but he should really consider saving some fuel towards the end of the race. There's still 21 laps remaining, and that's a lot to be running. And yeah, as I'm saying, he is actually turning fuel down now to save a bit in the process. And Dan 27 putting in the fastest lap now, so he's trying to catch up with the Sauber driver. And Ian Marnell sees Drudag making a pretty early pit stop there with 17 laps to go. Drudag is deciding to make his stop. Probably his final stop of the race. Will he put on some prime tires maybe? Or oh, he's going for options. Not sure if those options will last to the end of the race that well, but we will see. It can turn out really good or bad for the Virgin driver. Really depends how he can make his tires last. But meanwhile, Indrexen is just passing a car there who was a bit in trouble, out of shape, who got lapped there.
Go.
And here we get to see both Indrexen and Ian Marnell making their final stops.
Watch out for traffic as you
With
rejoin
13 laps remaining.
Aerodan just makes a move there on Indrexen and
Look after your tires.
takes the spot back. And also see that Drudag is up in the 3rd place.
Okay,
Yep, so
inside the car ahead,
Drudag
enjoy
made the
creating
undercut
gap.
work on Ian Marnell, so
Maximum
for now
power.
that turns out good. And now it's the question of can he make those tires last till the end of the race, or is Ian Marnell going to close right up to him at the closing stages of this race. The gap is 4.8 seconds to Drudag, so it's a lot of time to be honest. These guys seem to be very similar in pace throughout this race, so it will be interesting to see how it all turns out, as Indrexen puts in the fastest lap of the race, 1:21.3. That's a really quick lap, so he's not giving up yet. He's going to try and challenge Dan 27 as he gets on the back of his teammate here again. But he's a lap down, so his teammate will just move over for these guys to fight it out for the win.
Gap is 1.8 seconds to Aerodan, and Drudag is closed up to 4.4 seconds behind Indrexen, so his early pit stop really benefited, and now he's able to keep up with the guys ahead. You see Drudag's coming up behind Tadger now, and Tadger will just pull over as he's getting lapped. And he's going to catch up to Kex up ahead, I believe that is, who will also probably just pull over. Kex and Tadger probably just in a battle of their own.
Yep. A lot of difference in pace here. I'm not sure what the reason for that is, but you can see a couple of guys here, the top 4 mainly, are really similar in pace. They're only separated by about 8 seconds, I think, and these guys are just getting lapped. What do you make of that, Jonathan?
Yeah, the top 4 are really similar in pace. I mean, they're all lapping around the same times every lap, and the guys at the back, they seem like to be pretty similar gaps as well. So it's a tale of two halves really in terms of pace.
Yep. Skipping ahead now to lap 53, where you can see Indrexen is having a little bit of a fuel problem. If he continues like this, he will run out of fuel towards the end of the race, and he's going to have to save a bit of fuel, and that will certainly just give him a disadvantage to Dan 27 in order to catch him up. But now we are back on board with Ian Marnell, and he's not getting the DRS yet, but he has catched up a little bit with Drudag. The gap was, remember, about 5 seconds. It's now down to 1 second, so Ian Marnell also trying to find his rhythm and finding a lot of pace now towards the end of the race.
Yeah, the later pit stop for EMRNL seems to be paying dividends for him. I mean, it's only 4 laps, but it seems to be working for him. It's going to be close to finish though.
We need to pass this guy.
But running wide again at this turn now, and getting a bit of grass home. But yeah.
It definitely seems that EMRNL is the quicker driver here. He just has to get right up behind him and make the move. And as we see on the next lap, he is definitely within earshot of getting Drew Dog.
Yep, he certainly will get the DRS in the coming lap.
Okay, you're in his dirty
Might get it done right here in turn 1.
grip.
And you see that no, he outbrakes himself, and Drew Dog makes the apex and keeps the position.
Tyres have picked up some marbles. Keep
But
the
we'll see
racing
what happens
line
as we
and
get
win
onto
the
the next straightaway.
Good defensive driving there from Drew Dog into turn 1, but can he defend EMR now off with the DRS zone now? This is looking really good for EMR now, as he's already up the outside there of Drew Dog, and in front of him it seems. Switching to Drew Dog's point of view, he can see EMR now has taken the place, so good move there by the McLaren driver to finally overtake Drew Dog, but he needs to keep it together as he runs wide a little bit.
Yeah, Drew Dog's probably going to stay with him till the DRS zone now. So it looks like it's going to be whoever gets the DRS last is going to win, basically.
Yep. Well, EMRNL should be on much younger tires, so that could provide him with an advantage over the Virgin driver, but it seems like Drew Dog is still hanging on, and if he gets the DRS he can probably stay with the McLaren driver here and might just have an opportunity towards the end of the race. It's lap 58, so after this lap we got only 2 laps remaining. So if he is going to pass the EMRNL, then the Virgin driver really has to make it soon.
Yeah, we can see that the 2 up ahead, Indrexen and Aerodan, are gapped quite a bit, so Indrexen's going to have to pick up the pace even though he has that fuel problem, but it's going to be tough for him to catch up, I think. And now we're on board with him, and the gap is probably around 2 seconds or so.
Yep, joining on board with Indrexen for the final lap now, and 2.3 seconds separating him with the HRT driver, and that's not going to be close enough to have an opportunity probably, but you never know what happens. Dan27 has suffered some unlucky moments this season before on the closing stages of the race, but a really solid race either way for Indrexen. If he takes second place, this certainly was a good race by him in my opinion, and really, yeah, like I said before, giving Dan27 a run for his money, and yeah, Dan27 was not as dominant as we have seen him before. What do you think, Jonathan?
Oh, it could be that, or it could just be Indrexen was having a really good drive, and I think it's a bit of both, to be honest. I think Indrexen's had a really good race, and Aerodan, although he's got the title, might not have been pushing as hard, although I doubt that, but looks like it'll be another win for Aerodan.
Yep, just 1 corner separating him from the victory here at India. So yep, it is Dan27 taking the victory and Indrexen finishing second solidly. And now we are joining on board with Drew Dog for the final lap, and the conclusion of the battle with EMRNL here for the last step off the podium.
You see EMRNL is getting a bit nervous there. He cut the first corner, so it's going to be an interesting battle down the straightaway. Drew Dog gets the DRS, so Drew Dog has probably just enough fuel to push it up to Rich also to try and get the optimal amount of speed. You can see he's on the rev limiter right there, and EMRNL can't do anything but defend, and here we go, takes an outside shot at it.
Yep, good braking there by the Virgin driver, and gets alongside the McLaren driver. This is going to be a drag race down to turn 5, but Drew Dog managed to get ahead of the McLaren driver, and Ian Marnell has cut that corner one too many and giving him a time penalty, so that obviously rules him out of getting a podium as long as Drudak keeps it within the track.
Yeah, that's a shame. It looked like, although there's not many places to overtake in the last sector, it looked like it could have been a really good finish, but with that penalty it's just ruined Ian Marinel's chances of getting that podium.
Yep. But a good race by both of them, and a good battle we've seen where Drudak just comes out on top in 3rd place.
In the final race results, we have Aerodan27 with another win and the fastest lap of the race with a 1:21.2. Indrexen comes in 2nd, his best finish of the season, and we have Drudog also with his best finish of the season in 3rd. All 3 podium drivers finishing within 10 seconds of each other. And a strong race by Ian Marinel in 4th place. Paintball Maniac stays in the lead lap in 5th place, and we have Kex and Red Tabor who are 1 lap finish behind, and Tadger who finishes 2 laps behind in 8th place.
After 17 rounds, this is what the Drivers' Championship looks like. Ian Marinel moves ahead of Romano and leads the battle for 2nd place now. His teammate takes P7 from I'm the Game, followed closely by Paintball Maniac. And after a good result, Indrexen overtakes the Virgin drivers for P12. After another good effort by HRT, they are crowned this season's Constructors' Champion. Williams needs to accept 2nd place, followed by McLaren to take 3rd. There is still a huge battle going on for P4, with Force India, Sauber, Mercedes and Virgin all still in that fight. We are looking forward to the final 2 races. Well, thank you for joining us again, Andrew, in this race, and I hope you have enjoyed it. We saw some great battling going on.
Yes, it was a great battle. Thank you for having me again, Eric.
Okay, and Jonathan, of course, thank you as well. I hope you enjoyed your first time in the commentary box.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was a pleasure. Yeah, it was really good as well, so thanks very much.
Yep, it was a pleasure to have you, and this was it. This is all, and see you next race.